Good day, everyone. Thank you for coming to the webinar and information session on the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program with us today. We are really pleased to have you here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat right now. We will turn the chat off once we kind of get rolling into things. And then if you have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A section here on Zoom. If you have questions about where to find that, you can go ahead and send me a private message, and I should be able to kind of help direct you to that. But it should be there on your screen. With that said, gonna thank you everyone for the first poll. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll, and we have another poll that we are going to ask here right at the start. So thank you for that feedback. That lets us know a little bit about everybody who's joining us here today, what kind of questions we might get, and there will also be an opportunity for feedback at the end once we get to the Q&A session that we would really appreciate you giving to us. So in case you are wondering where you're at, you're here for the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program with the University of Illinois, offered in partnership with Coursera. Today we will be covering the program. We have folks here from the online programs here at the College of Education, and we have one faculty member with us here today. Get ready to introduce them here in a bit. We have an overview about the program. We will have some information about both of the courses. We will also talk about MasterTrack to Master of Education, what it's like enrolling in the certificate program, and opportunity for questions at the end. Again, if you have questions throughout the presentation, you can go ahead and submit those in the Q&A. We'll try and get those answered. Some of them we might decide to answer live so that that's in the recording for others to watch back afterwards. So as I said, we are joined here by others from the Office of Online Programs here at the College of Education. You can see them all on screen here. Myself, Travis Giffen, the Assistant Director of Online Programs. We have Sangeetha Gopala-Christian, who is the Director of Online Programs. We also are joined by Brianna Davis, who is the Online Student Advisor, and Gina Poff, who's here from our office as a staff member. And then we also have Dr. Grace O, who's joined us here today. And she will be sharing a little bit more about the classes here in a bit. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll, and I thank everybody for introducing themselves. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the chat for now. If you have questions, you can still let us hosts here know, and you can get those submitted in the Q&A. And with that said, I'm going to turn things over to Sangeetha.
Thank you, Travis. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sangeetha Gopala-Krishnan, and I head online programs here at the college. We're so happy to have you join us. I see we have quite a few participants. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to learn a little bit about the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program here. Next slide, please. So I want to give you like a quick overview, and you'll hear more about the program itself from our program faculty members here, or member here, I have to say. But to provide you with a snapshot, what will you learn in the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program? You'll learn to solve real-world learning and performance challenges. You'll learn to integrate technology with today's learning environments, and you will master key concepts in instructional and training system design, learning technologies, and more. Next slide, please. So the certificate program really consists of two courses. So it is EPOL 472 and EPOL 483, and both these courses are at the graduate level. You will earn 4 graduate credits from each of these courses, adding up to 8 graduate credits. And upon completing this program successfully, you will have the opportunity to transfer or apply these 8 graduate credit hours towards a master's program if you choose to apply for a master's program and be admitted to the master's program or a doctoral program. It's the same, you'll have the same opportunity to apply these credits. So that is something really cool, so you can get more mileage out of your certificate program because it's stackable, really. All right, next one. Again, a quick overview of some key details. And we'll be talking more about these aspects later on, so don't worry if you have questions, follow-up questions. Just hold on to your questions and we'll answer them. But what do you need to enter the MasterTrack Certificate program? You will need a bachelor's degree. What does it cost? The current cost is $2,384. This comes to you at a subsidized rate because of our partnership with Coursera. You can complete the certificate program in as few as 4 months. But it could also be that it takes 7 months. In what is the scenario for the 4 months and the 7 months? We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. As I mentioned, you'll earn graduate credit. In a quick detail about the format, our courses involve weekly live sessions. So be thinking about that, and we'll talk more about that later on. And both these courses have hands-on projects, and I expect Dr. O will talk more about that when it's her turn to talk. You may wonder what types of students really are in our Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program. So we really see students come to us from all different settings. Many of our students are obviously already working full-time. So they come to us from higher education, healthcare, IT, as in information technology, business, K-12, military. So really a broad a variety of settings. And again, this list of settings here is not an exhaustive list. It's just to give you an idea that our students really are in a variety of settings. So yeah, anyone and everybody is welcome, really, in terms of their setting. You may also wonder what kind of job titles do our current students have, or maybe what kind of job titles do they get after they graduate? I think here again is a list of possibilities. It's not an exhaustive list. The job titles can be instructional designer, curriculum developer, e-learning specialist, trainer, training and development specialist, training and development manager, instructional coordinator, and so on. So really, aspects, these job titles point to jobs that involve designing, learning, training, instruction, curriculum, and so on and so forth. And so with that, I believe I get to hand it over to Dr. O to talk a little bit more about the content of the program.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Sure can.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Travis. Very nice to meet you all. I'm John Grayso, Associate Professor of Human Resource Development Program at the Department of Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership here at U of Illinois. I'm also one of the 2 lead faculty of IDMTC program. Next slide, please. A little bit about myself. My expertise is in the intersection of learning, design, and technology, and the human resource development, as well as a adult learning context. I teach courses on instructional and training system design, e-learning related courses, learning technologies, adult and professional education, also program evaluation, and so forth. I've been teaching, I teach EPOL 472 Instruction and Training System Design course as part of IDMTC course. I'll talk more about the course part. In this IDMTC program, there are also other faculty who teach courses.
we may have lost Dr. O momentarily, unless it's just me. Can somebody let me know about that? If not, until she gets back, I can at least share some information about some of the other faculty in the program. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. Appreciate it. So we do have Dr. Huang, who's the associate head and professor for EPOL. He also teaches courses in the program from time to time. As you can see here, his focus has been on investigating learning, engagement, and technology acceptances into various workplaces and studies. Is a very accomplished professor here at the university. I see that Dr. O is back with us here. So I was just sharing a little bit about David's background.
Thank you, Travis. So Dr. Huang is also one of the two lead faculty of IDMTC program, currently a professor of HRD concentration, as well as associate head of EPOL. His research interest includes the learning engagement, technology acceptance in various workplaces, studies also instructional effect and efficacy of gamification, socialization, also open distribution of technology-enabled and enriched learning experiences. Next slide, please. Dr. Kelly Best is a new addition to our instructional team, but has years of teaching experiences in HRD. And she's also our very proud alum of HRD program, currently an assistant chair and also assistant professor of School of Technology at Eastern Illinois University. Her research interest includes the instructional design, expertise development, and also competency development. Next slide, please. Dr. Debbie Hurubak is another member of our instructional team who is also our very proud alum of HRD program. She's a senior process improvement and also learning and development specialist for the Ohio State University. Her research interest focuses on the meaning of work, meaningfulness, and also engagement in a world of technology. Next slide, please. So now let me talk a little bit about the course information. We have two courses, as Sangeeta mentioned earlier. Next slide, please. The first course is EPOL 472, Instructional and Training System Design course. And I've been teaching this course for many years, probably ever since the first semester I was part of this, U of I. I have a great passion on instructional design because I really do believe that good instructional designers can help individuals to have really meaningful learning opportunities and also experiences that are very much relevant to their own career and professional development, as well as their organizational performance improvement. So this is the first course of the two course sequences of IDMTC program. And in this course, learn essential theories, concepts, principles of instructional design. Also, you're going to use the instructional design model, EDI, actually learn how to conduct an instructional design project. Next slide, please.
Looks like we may have lost Dr. O, at least momentarily. Hopefully she will be able to join us again to continue sharing some more about the classes. While we have some time here, before moving on from here, thanks to everybody for getting us their questions submitted. Really appreciate that. And hopefully we're getting back to everybody on those questions here. We could skip forward in the presentation and maybe come back to course information in a bit. So thank you all for bearing with us as we move along. We'll come back and cover course information. Oh, maybe she's here. Okay. Never mind. We will resume.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Sure can. Although it does look like your video is freezing, so maybe you could, maybe to help your connection, if you turned the video off and just went audio, I think that would be fine.
Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you just
Okay.
fine.
Okay, I am so sorry. It just doesn't occur that often, I swear. It's just all of a sudden.
I think it's extremely windy here in
I
Central
think
Illinois
so.
here today. I don't know
Yes.
if it has anything to do with that.
Perhaps.
I don't know if you had a chance to hear Travis' suggestion, Grace. He was wondering if you wanted to try turning off your video and seeing if that helped with the connection. It's just an
Yes.
experiment.
I can try.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
thank you for your patience, everybody. I apologize for any inconvenience on your part. So for the EPOL 472, this slide particularly captures the goal and then the primary projects of this course. First, as you can see on the right side of the slide, the figure kind of illustrates the course content structure. Basically, students will learn conceptual and theoretical foundations of instructional design. And then EDI, which is the instructional design process, analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluation at the core will be the focal point to do that. So we'll learn basically many important activities that instructional designers would do during the different phases of instructional design process. So at the end of the course, students will be able to design an optimal instructional solution to learning and performance challenges that they identify for their target group of learners. Next slide, please. So these are three major projects to help you, the students, achieve the goal. The biggest project is to learn how to conduct an instructional design project. And students will do this as a group. Then there are case studies where students will learn how to think like an instructional designer in various phases during the instructional design process. And then third, throughout the two courses, the 472 and 483, students will be developing their e-portfolio to really present their instructional design knowledge and skills through using different artifacts that they develop in those two courses. So these are the major assignments that help students to learn instructional design skills, knowledge, and also about the career. Next slide, please. A little bit more about instructional design project itself. So students basically will work with their group members to complete an instructional design project using an instructional design model. They will design, develop an instructional intervention for meeting their target
We may have lost O again. It is Dr. O again. It is very unusual. We've had so many of these sessions, and we haven't quite had a drop in connectivity like this. But I'm just looking at the chat and seeing how we have participants really from all over the country, and it is going, it's very interesting to see that we have participants from all over, from different settings and different parts of the world too.
I'm back.
Welcome back. We can hear you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for your patience. So we instructional team provide various scaffoldings to the students. The students will complete different instructional design activities to create instructional or training program for an organization. Next slide, please. And then there are the 4 design case studies on instructional design that we discuss in the class. Each case study includes a scenario that is related to one of the instructional design phases. As you can see, the scenarios covers the analysis, design, implementation, and evaluation phase. We have an in-depth discussion on these cases during the live sessions, the weekly live sessions throughout the course, and students write up their case study action plan report. Next slide, please. The second course is about the learning technologies. And in this course, students learn about various learning technologies, focusing on identifying, selecting, justifying the implementation of those learning technologies in various environments, like e-learning environments, technology-enriched enable learning environments we call tele, so design, implementation, and evaluation processes. And students, of course, they learn aligning learning theories, instructional systems, design models, also existing emerging learning technologies, and then the learning environment design blueprint all together, so they can solve organizational learning and performance problems across different contexts. Next slide, please. This particular slide shows kind of also overall content structure. So students learn about learning technologies through various topics such as learning, design, and technology together, learning with technology, different theories, frameworks, and models for design, evolution of a learning technology. Also these days, a very important kind of technology, immersive learning environments such as VR, AR type of technology. And of course, the important trends and values of learning technologies. This course also has 3 different assignments. Those are Exploring Learning Technology assignment, ELT, basically where students in group explore one particular learning technology, and it's up in different workplaces, educational contexts, organizations. Students also discuss design case studies on learning technologies. Lastly, as part of the IDMTC program, students also work on the e-portfolio to showcase their knowledge.
It looks like the connection issues are continuing on Dr. Osaf. It looks like she is reconnecting.
Where did I leave? Did you hear about the 3 assignments?
No.
No, where did I stop?
I believe you stopped just after talking about the different learning environments here.
Learning environments here. Okay, so the content structure you can see from the figure on the right side, right? And like 472, this course also has 3 different assignments. One is about exploring learning technology. We call it ELT. So students in group explore one particular learning technology and its applications in workplaces, educational contexts, different organizations. Second, students also discuss design case studies on learning technologies. Last, as part of the IDMTC program, students work on e-portfolio to showcase their knowledge and skills about learning technologies. Next slide, please. So these are 3 major assignments that I just explained. Next slide, please. This particular slide shows a little more information regarding those design case scenarios. It's the same concept. Basically, there are different scenarios regarding the learning technologies in organizational workplace context. Students, as a class, they discuss these different scenarios. They write up an action plan report. Next slide, please. And then the last part, throughout the MTC2 course, right? Students develop their e-portfolio, really demonstrating competence as instructional designer of various learning and training systems. So that kind of concludes information regarding the courses for now. If you have questions about the courses, I'll respond to them later during the Q&A session. And I apologize once again and really appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. O. And with that, Brianna Davis is up next.
Yes, hello, everyone. Can you all hear me okay?
Sure can.
Excellent. So now that we've discussed the course content and you've gotten to know a little bit more about the 2 classes that you'll be taking as a part of this program, we just want to take a few slides to talk about the program format and the way in which the courses will be delivered to you as a student. Next slide, please. So the classes are hosted entirely online and they revolve around weekly synchronous sessions. Collaboration, as you will find, is key in this program. And the synchronous sessions offer a really great opportunity for you to interact with your colleagues and professors live and in real time. This allows students to engage in group work in kind of a more authentic way that's conducive to a more enriched learning experience. Additionally, students have access to necessary supports from instructors and TAs via different channels such as office hours. Next slide, please. So the weekly synchronous sessions meet 1 night per week from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. The course schedule is available online, which will show the days during which the courses will meet. Currently, courses are to be held on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time, but that's certainly subject to change from one term to the next, so just be aware of that. As a student in the Coursera Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program, the first 2 live sessions are required, but participation in all other class sessions is certainly highly recommended. The synchronous sessions are definitely the best way for you to get the most out of your experience in these courses, as they allow you the opportunity, again, to interact directly with your instructor and peers and ask questions in real time. Students in these classes can anticipate about 8 to 12 hours of work outside of class each week. Next slide, please. So next we will discuss the time to completion for this program, which we often receive questions about. I think we've actually seen a couple questions about this already today, so we definitely want to be sure to touch base on that. If you take both courses in the same semester, beginning with EPOL 472 in term A, which is the first 8 weeks of our semester, and you take EPOL 483 in term B, which is the second 8 weeks of the semester, then you can finish the program in a total of 1 semester, which is 4 months. So please note that 4 months is the absolute quickest time frame in which a student may complete this certificate program. However, if you decide to take only 1 course per semester, then the program could take up to 7 months for you to complete. So, for example, if you were to take EPOL 482 in term B of the spring semester, and then you took EPOL 483 in term B of the spring semester and 472 in term A of the fall semester, it would take you 7 months total to complete the program. So, 4 months is going to be the very quickest that you could complete the program. It could take you 7 months. This is because although each course is 8 weeks in length, each class is only offered in 1 term each semester at this time. So these courses are also not offered during the summer term. So the point at which you begin your courses may impact your overall timeline. If you have further questions about this, definitely reach out to us and let us know. But the short answer is that 4 months is the quickest that you could complete it, but it could take you 7 months to complete this program. Next slide, please. And as previously mentioned, the MasterTrack Certificate courses can stack and serve as a pathway to our Master in Education in Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership program. So this means that if you would like to earn your master's degree at the College of Education at the University of Illinois, after you've concluded your MasterTrack certificate, you may apply the 2 courses that you've completed through this certificate program to your Master of Education program. So for your reference, your completed coursework can be applied to any of our concentrations that are listed here, which are all offered as a part of, again, our Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership Master's programs. If you're interested in learning more about our master's programs, you can visit education.illinois.edu/online, or you can certainly reach out to us as well. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. On our website, you'll be able to learn more about the master's course requirements and how the MasterTrack certificate can form a pathway to your master's degree program. I do want to note that if you are interested in pursuing your master's degree, but you want to pursue the MasterTrack certificate, we encourage you to first complete your MasterTrack certificate and then apply it to your master's program. Doing so allows you to take full advantage of the 2 discounted MasterTrack courses offered by Coursera prior to enrolling as a degree-seeking student at the college. So it's a better route for you to go financially to go through Coursera and then apply to our master's program.
And I'm going to jump back in here for a little bit to just let everyone know about what we have in the realm of career services available for IDMTC students. We do have asynchronous career service presentations are available, and content is available for all of our students. And then we also do offer synchronous sessions throughout each term. So while you are a current student, you can attend those career-related sessions. I offer and coordinate and offer most of those, so you will see me at those should you choose to attend. And then students can also schedule individual coaching or strategy sessions with me directly. I have a Calendly link that students can use to schedule time with me to talk about items one-on-one. Next up, we have Gina.
Unmute. Okay. Hello, I'm going to talk about enrollment in the IDMTC Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program. Next slide. Requirements for the program is the minimum of a bachelor's degree is required to enroll in our Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program, and costs associated with the program. The total cost of the program is $2,842, which is $1,192 per course. Once you enroll in one or both courses, you'll pay the university for each course. The Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate is a non-degree program, so financial aid is not available. There are payment options available. Payment plans are available. You can refer to the webpage, the Pay My Bill webpage for payment plans to see the options that are offered. And to enroll in the MasterTrack Certificate Program, to begin the process online, there are 2 options for where you can start. You can begin on the Coursera website, and it will direct you on how to enroll, or you can start in the College of Education website, apply to the college, and you would select Certificate of Specialization from the list below. Enrollment deadlines. We are currently accepting registrations for spring 2023 term B. Registration for spring 2023 term B closes on February 27th at, I believe it's at noon. You can post any questions about any of these slides that I've presented in the Q&A box, or email gradservices@education.illinois.edu with any questions you have.
This is me, right?
Yep.
So I wanted to kind of focus on why you would choose to study at the University of Illinois and why you would choose a program from the College of Education, and why you would choose an online program from the College of Education. So I wanted to give you something to think about. Next slide. So we are a top-tier research university. The University of Illinois is one of the largest public institutions in the state of Illinois and part of the Big Ten. We are ranked number 3 by US News and World Reports for our online master's in education programs. So we've held the number 3 spot in this category for the last 3 years, and they're very proud of it. So we are affordable, and we've been ranked number 3 for different criteria, including affordability and quality. Being that we are a top-tier research university, our faculty are world-class. They have rich research agendas. They have a wealth of teaching experience in working with students. We focus here in the college, as well as on campus, on our online students. We make student engagement a priority. You will not only be learning from a world-class faculty at a top-tier research university, you will be learning with peers who really come from different backgrounds. As you saw in the chat before, you have students who are already employed. They have rich work experiences, so your peers will have a lot to share with you, and that is bound to be an enriching learning experience. And then again, being a top-tier research university, you will have access to extensive resources that you can use for learning. Next slide, please. So if you want to learn more about our ranking, you will find a link to it. We have a story about it, and you can access that story also when you get the recording of this presentation. So I hope you're not hesitating anymore, so make the decision. Join us here at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Would be happy to receive you and make you feel welcome as part of our student community here. And I believe with that, we can entertain more questions. And so we've been trying to keep up with the questions that you've been posting in the Q&A. So feel free to add your questions to the Q&A, and one of us will answer. So let's see, do we have a question that we want to start with? So I see a question here, which may be a good question for Dr. O. What type of items will be in your portfolio, in the student portfolio?
I think I just answered that question via chat, but typically, I mean, students has been very creative in terms of what the kinds of elements that they include, but we provide kind of, minimum requirement to students. So students typically create the portfolio using a tool called Digication that UVI provides as a portfolio development tool. They include the welcome page, self-introduction page. There is a page dedicated to showcase their instructional design skills with some descriptions, introduction of their projects, artifacts, and so forth. And there's also another page created from the learning technology course, which includes their understanding about different learning technologies, also showcase some of their, the artifact that they created from that course. I hope that answers the question.
I saw another question that I thought would be great to answer live. There's a question about taking both courses in the same part of term. For right now, EPOL 472 is offered in term A for both fall and spring, and EPOL 483 is offered in part of term B in both fall and spring. So at this time, both courses are not offered in the same part of term, but both courses are offered each semester. As Brianna shared, that's how you can end up being able to complete the certificate in 4 months if you take both courses in the same semester. But we know that due to scheduling and some things like that, some people take one course in one semester and another course in the other semester.
Just to elaborate on that, Travis, thank you so much for answering that. So if you were wanting to begin during spring part of term B, which will begin in March, you can take EPOL 483 during spring part of term B, and then you would take 472 during our fall A term. Our fall A term will run from late August till mid-October. So if you decided to start the program this spring B term, you can anticipate being done with the program by early to mid-October. So I hope that provides a little bit of clarification.
Thank you all for the questions. I didn't know, I was just going to ask if anybody saw a good question to answer live.
I saw a good question for Dr. O, maybe. So I'll read out the question from, so this is about a student, the question is, sorry, the person has a master's in education with a specialization in instructional design already. So they are wondering if the IDMTC will add any value to their career pursuits.
Well, that's a good question. And I would say it depends. If the degree is already specialized in instructional design and has taken instructional design course and kind of introductory the learning technologies course, the program can be potentially you know, there could be some potential overlaps. But you know, the courses are both more of the introductory level instructional design as well as learning technologies. But one unique strength of our program is because the courses are housed in HRD, we tend to have a strong workplace and organizational context where a lot of other instructional technology, educational technology, instructional design programs do not necessarily have such focus. Hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you all for the questions. Please keep them coming. At this time, I am going to also launch one last poll to give us feedback on the event. Thank you all for joining us today, and we appreciate your patience with the technology issues that we had. With that, there's still plenty of time to get questions in. We have until another 15 minutes still here on the clock for this presentation. If you think of any questions afterwards, you can always reach us at gradservices@education.illinois.edu. I do see a question that just came in. If we have, they have questions about the program, who can they call? If you send us an email to reach out to us, we can follow up with you and work on coordinating a phone call conversation or something like that. Thank you again for all the questions. Were there any questions that anybody saw that came in that they thought that would be good to let everyone know for the recording in case they missed the actual presentation here today? One thing I know, the tuition rate. So we did talk about the tuition for the program. The Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate program's tuition rate is at a reduced rate compared to normal tuition. Normal tuition is $500 per credit hour. And so this program is at a reduced rate. If you were to take one of these courses outside of this program, it would be $2,000 as opposed to the reduced rate that we had talked about earlier. So you can finish the whole program, both courses, for just over the cost of one of the courses taken as a traditional credit hour program. The master's programs that were mentioned earlier were all of our online master's programs here in the College of Education.
A question that has been asked a couple times in our Q&A box is in regard to the order in which these courses are taken. So just to clarify, in case there's still some confusion with that, these courses can be taken in any order. So as we mentioned, EPOL 472 is offered during the part of term A. 483 is offered during part of term B. So if you would like to begin during part of term B, you can do that. So these courses can be taken in any order. So just to clarify, you do not have to take these courses in a specific order. They can be taken in any order.
Thanks for sharing that, Brianna. Well, it seems like the questions are dwindling down. Any last call for questions here before we end the presentation and give everybody back some time in their day? We thank you all for joining us. We saw that we had folks joining us from all around the globe. So no matter what time it was for you, we really appreciate your interest in the program and for joining us.
I see we have another question that came in. It says we can take the questions. I think maybe the question, I think maybe this person meant to say courses. So we can take the courses in any order, but not concurrently. That is correct. You can take the courses in any order. You can start with 472 or you can start with 483, but they are not offered at the same time. So they cannot be taken concurrently. As a follow-up to that question, this person says, how do we complete the program in 4 months then? So while our university does operate on traditional 16-week semesters for our fall and spring terms, each of our courses are 8 weeks in length. So part of term A is the first 8 weeks of the semester. Part of term B is the second 8 weeks of the semester. So if you wanted to complete the program in a 4-month time frame, you would take the first course during the first 8 weeks, second course during the second 8 weeks, which totals 4 months or 16 weeks to complete both courses. You are most welcome. Sorry for the confusion on that.
I mean, I also want to say that if somebody wants to have a more, a one-on-one chat, volunteer you, Brianna, for consultation. So, we don't have to feel like anyone who has more more follow-up questions has to ask all of them right now. They can think about it, look at the recording, and then circle back to maybe Brianna or anyone else for more in-depth conversations.
Yes, that sounds great. So if you would like to request a one-on-one conversation with me or somebody else from our office, as Travis mentioned, you can email gradservices@education.illinois.edu, which is indicated on our slide here. And from there, we will follow up with you and set up a time to speak with you about your specific questions.
All right, looks like we got most of the questions answered, at least for today. Want to thank you again for coming to this information session on the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate with the University of Illinois. We appreciate your time today and your interest in the program. We hope you will consider registering and becoming a student here at the University of Illinois. We would love to have you join us as an Illini. We hope you all have a great rest of the day, no matter where you are. And remember, if you think of any questions afterwards, you can reach out to us at gradservices@education.illinois.edu. And the recording will be sent out tomorrow, should be about tomorrow morning, but no later than within 24 hours to everybody. So thanks again for your participation in joining us all today. Take care.
Thank you.